On Wendy's Twitter, somebody said, Wendy's lemonade is amazing. And they retweeted and said, the official drink of hot girl summer. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Erin, and this is Erin on Demand, which is a community for entrepreneurs and content creators looking to build their brands, their content, and their business. And today we are talking all about voice. Now, I know a lot of times we hear the message, you have to find your niche, which is very important. Finding your niche is a key step into finding success with content marketing. But another element that I feel is less talked about is finding your voice. Finding your brand's voice is probably more important than finding your niche because it is the true connecting point. I almost feel like if your brand has a very strong voice that carries the brand, you can almost present any kind of information to them and they will enjoy it if they connect to your voice. So there is a big difference between finding a niche and finding your voice, and we're gonna really take a deep dive into what is voice and how can I pinpoint the right voice for my brand. So if that's something you're interested in, keep watching. Now, first things first is, what is voice? Voice is that unspoken messaging that is communicated to your audience without you necessarily saying it. So it's not what you say, it's how you say it. But it is still a little different than tone. We will get into that, don't worry. I like to think of voice as the heart and soul of your company. It is the connecting point. It is the authenticity of your brand that is so important with connecting to your audience. Essentially, voice boils down to language and personality, whether that is through written words, if you have a blog, or video on camera presence, if you have a YouTube channel or do video, or even your voice on podcasting and the emotion that you evoke through the way that you speak. So how do you pinpoint your voice? We're gonna go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna go through 5 things that you should do to nail down your brand's voice. The first thing is review your goals. If you have a mission statement, if you have a vision board, if you have goals written down for the year or long-term goals for your business or brands, you really want to take a good look at that when it's time for you to nail down your voice. Because you want to make sure that your voice is in line with your mission and your values that you've placed on your company. The second thing you want to do is a personal and professional audit. And this especially goes for anybody who is the face of their own business, similarly to me. So my business and I are essentially one and the same because I do all of the YouTube videos and represent my voice on, all of my social channels, but I'm also the owner of my business. So you want to make sure that both of those things are in line. Document any consistencies or inconsistencies you have in your social channels. Look at the messaging that you present. Is your messaging consistent? How are you presenting the message? And do these messages align with your values? These are all questions that you have to start asking yourself when you're auditing. If your Instagram is all personal and just super cute, like lyric captions, but you're on YouTube talking about business and entrepreneurship, you are using 2 different brand voices. When you do your personal audit, you want to ask yourself, who am I? You really want to take a deep dive in yourself, because if you are the person whose voice is going to be the voice of your business, you want to make sure that it aligns also with your personality. So you might not be that funny, and I'm sorry to tell you that, but you can't have a brand that you want to have a funny voice if you're not funny. So part of it is limited based on your personality. So you do want to take a personality audit and ask people around you, what type of emotion do I give when I'm talking to you? How do you feel when you're around me? What are 3 words you would use to describe me? Ask questions like that to the people who are closest to you to get a little bit more insight on yourself, but also think about the things you love, the things you don't like, and don't be afraid to pull some of that into your persona on camera or in your blogs or vlogs or whatever you choose to do. The third thing you need to do is evaluate your target audience. And you want to make sure your target audience is actually really a good target audience. And if you need help with figuring out how to target your audience, I will link a video in the description below that I did on how to create a good target audience. But that is something that is very, very important, because if you don't know who you're talking to, it's going to be very difficult to speak in their language. So the way you would talk to 35-year-old working professionals is different than you would talk to college students. You want to be able to speak the language of the audience that you are talking to, and that is a huge part of voice. Infusing your target audience's language with your voice is really going to help reel them in. The fourth thing you want to do when narrowing down your voice is focus less on what you want your audience to do and more on how you want your audience to feel. So something you can do is pick 3 words that you want your audience to feel as they're consuming your content, whether reading, listening, watching. How do you want your audience to feel from your content? Not what information you want them to get from it. The content itself should be completely different than the feeling you want to evoke. So if your word is being authentic, think about what makes you authentic. What is the authentic part, most authentic part of you? If you are very goofy or witty, make sure you write those words under authentic. So yours might be being very candid if you're a very blunt person, or it might be being quirky, or you might show your authenticity through being very expressive with your hands, and you're very engaged with the camera. So write down your pillar words, 3 top pillar words, but also dig into your personality and think about ways that you can let those 3 pillar words come through in your content. Number 5 is you have to be consistent with your voice. And I know I touched on this a little bit earlier, but it is very important. The only way your audience will notice your voice is if you are super repetitive with it. And that doesn't mean saying the same thing over and over again, but it means speaking in that language, with that tone, with that personality, using that over and over and over and over again. There are some brands who have mastered voice. Apple has mastered voice. It's very clean. It's very simple. It's very confident. Wendy's has mastered voice. If you have a chance, you should definitely go check out Wendy's social channels. They have it down. I don't know who runs their Twitter, but Wendy's Twitter, I would describe it as funny, hip, and relatable, because they have mastered maneuvering themselves almost into pop culture and using that as a way to connect with a lot of young people. So it has just, Wendy's Twitter has literally turned into like people just enjoy following them. So that is a good way to look at it. Even though they are promoting burgers in their fast food restaurant, everything doesn't have to be so pushy on what you want them to do. They have mastered making their audience feel a certain way. When you read their tweets, you're gonna chuckle. On Wendy's Twitter, somebody said, Wendy's lemonade is amazing. And they retweeted and said, the official drink of hot girl summer. I mean, like, so many brands are scared to push themselves into pop culture, but that tweet got 104,000 likes and 23,000 retweets, because Wendy's is so confident and they know that they are targeting young people. This is the language that they're using, and they've made being funny and hip a part of their brand. So it makes sense to say hot girl summer, because it's a hot girl summer. You know what I'm saying? They have tweets in pig Latin. Like, I mean, it is very entertaining. And they have tied an emotion to their brand that causes people to want to consume their brand. And that's the whole idea. That is why feelings and emotion are so important, because at the end of the day, they produce action. And when someone feels a certain way, they're more compelled to subscribe. They're more compelled to keep reading or binging. It's not always only about the content, but it's also about how you present the content and the personality you bring to it. and just the overall underlying message beneath what you're actually saying. So the key takeaways from this video are: 1, to review your values and the mission or goals of your brand. 2, you need to do a personal and a professional audit. Make sure you are digging deep and asking yourself those questions of: what is my personality? Who am I? What message do I want my business to say aside from the information or the content that I'm already presenting? What are those values that I can pull through in other ways? 3, evaluate your target audience. Make sure you have pinpoint the people that you're actually talking to so you can start speaking in their language. 4, focus less on what you want people to do and probing action, and think about how you want them to feel. And last, you have to be consistent. Start observing the voice of the platforms that you follow. See if you can pinpoint their 3 words, because it'll make it a lot easier for you to do the same with yours. You'll start to see things from a slightly different perspective. Now, if you want more help on how to find your brand's voice, if you want more personalized help and you want more personalized feedback, and you just want to take your business or your brand up a notch, you are welcome to join my eBrand club, which is a membership club. It's only $20 a month, and it's for anybody who is looking to take it up a notch. Okay, if you're looking to take your brand, your business, or your content up levels on levels on levels, this is an amazing dynamic community full of goal-getters who are ready and hold each other accountable, and it is just such a fun community to be a part of. So if you're interested in that, the link will be in the description box below. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you want to be a part of my internet home, you are welcome to stay, honey. You can stay as long as you want. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button. Now, the next video will be all about personality and how to add personality into your videos, and some mistakes that a lot of people make when they try to add personality. So we're taking this voice lesson a little bit deeper, and I'm going to share some practical ways that you can add some more flair and personality into your content. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you watch, because I upload every Sunday and Wednesday. And on that note, I will see you guys later. Peace.